What's up, guys? High Thumos, and welcome back. Boom. We're gonna be talking about Jiu Jitsu today. Before I started Jiu Jitsu, I always liked to watch videos about Jiu Jitsu, talking about it. And eventually, I watched enough of those, and I started doing it. So here's one of those videos, man. I just got the blue belt. It's been a great journey. I'm gonna talk about my journey as a white belt. I've been training for the last 14 months. I've had pretty minor injuries. One being my rib. I was trying to hip escape, and I kind of pulled something in my rib area, but that was about it. So I didn't train for a couple weeks. So about 14 months. I've competed 4 times, and I've learned a lot. Maybe some of this can help you continue your journey, start your journey with Jiu Jitsu. Maybe it can just provide you with some insight. So the first thing that not even learned, but was embodied, and just the way it shaped and morphed my mind, was simply not having to overthink everything. And that's beautiful, man. Because think about being a young man growing up. I know for myself, what do we worry about? We worry about women, we worry about money, we worry about the future. We have a lot of anxieties. Jiu-Jitsu helped me to stop overthinking. Honestly, this last 14 months, I feel like I've really matured. And I just stopped caring as much about a lot of the anxieties, the worries that possibly were on my mind even a year ago. I stopped thinking so much. I just started doing. I started being more spontaneous. I let more of a spontaneity arise from within me than always trying to micromanage and perfect every single thing. I think it did that because what Jiu-Jitsu gave me was a centeredness. It grounded me in reality. It made me compete against someone else rather than just competing against myself all the time. Now there was actually someone there that was learning the same skills, the same movements and patterns. They're trying to strangle me out, and now I have to focus on overcoming their own intelligence. Whereas before, it was always me in my head trying to figure out life, trying to figure out this and that and everything. And Jiu-Jitsu was like, no, here's the game. Here's the game. These are the moves. Learn the moves. Be healthy. Be fit. Be athletic. Be strong. And you will perform well. And learn the moves and do them over and over and over, and you'll get better. And so that immediately began to center my life. It gave me things to focus on. Okay, you got to go to sleep at a certain time, or you're going to perform shitty tomorrow at Jiu-Jitsu. And that blue belt and that white belt, that 3-stripe white belt that always taps you out, is going to do it again. And so you start to course correct. Okay, I get my sleep right. I'm starting to eat enough. I realize I need to eat a little bit more of this, a little bit less of this. I need to do things a little bit different. Before it was like, how can I self-improve? What things do I need to self-improve? Jiu-Jitsu forced me to improve. It just set the routine. It gave me the routine. I had to abide by the routine, or else my performance was going to suffer. It was going to be subpar. So that was a big thing. It gives you this centeredness, this groundedness in your life. I think that's huge for any man. The next thing, it gave me like this fingertip feel. I say spontaneity. It gave me this ability to kind of go with the flow. I think life is a lot about flow. I think it's something that thoughts can sometimes get in the way of. With Jiu-Jitsu, there is a flow, there's an ebb and there's an energy, and it sounds kind of weird, but when you roll for a while, you start to be able to anticipate the human body. When someone comes in for the first time, they're very awkward. When you roll against them too, even after a couple months, a new guy comes into the gym, you're able to sweep him like it's nobody's business. Like, it's so easy. You're able to put him in a triangle, arm lock. You're able to do this and that to him, whatever it is. And then he starts to get savvy to the process and to the moves. But in the very beginning, you just start to understand, the human body and how it functions. How do people try to keep their balance? How do people apply pressure? How do you apply pressure to someone that's on the ground? And so there's this, once you see and you feel for yourself what is going on in this game, there's a knowing and an ability to move and take action that is without thought. From this arises a nice feeling, a nice flow state, that things are just connecting. It's like you begin to master the energy, and you can move it the more that you enter this chaotic, the more that you enter that storm, you're able to control it even better. So that was a really cool thing for me, to be able to feel that at a certain point. And it wasn't for about 6 months. 6 months, man, just getting choked out, knocked down, boom, boom, boom. It was just, it's like, and then 6 months and you start to learn, okay, I got the scissor sweep, got the omoplata, I can play scissor, I can play butterfly guard, I could work pretty efficiently from the closed guard, I can pass the guard, I can do a couple takedowns, I'm a little bit less spazzy. You start to anticipate what are people going to do to you. And that was really cool, man. And I think life is really like that. It's the same exact thing. Life is a game. You can kind of anticipate, you start to get a fingertip feel, whether that be business, whether that be your work, what you need to do, you start to develop mastery for the game that you are playing. And it's very rewarding. Another thing, the rounds that you go to war are the most memorable. There's been days, a lot of days, where I show up and I don't even want to be there. It's like, oh, here we go. Right? You got to do your damn Brazilian warm-up. You run around. You do your skips. You do your side, shuffles. It's like, come on, just get to the good stuff. Let's spar. You get there, then you got to learn the technique, you got to drill the technique. It's kind of boring some days. And then you get to sparring and you get some intense rounds. Some days you look around, you're like, oh, thank God that guy's not here. Thank God I don't got to go against him today. Those days are the best, most memorable days. And they shape you and they make you and they give you more heart. Those days where you don't feel like going, you go anyway, just like anything, it teaches you discipline to do the thing regardless of whether you feel like it or not. That's what it teaches you. You just go in, and you have these rounds where you really you go to war with some of these people, man. 5 minutes in the fritz, just sweating, dropping sweat in some guy's eye. One guy, you put a knee on belly, he lets out a little fart. It's that's not the war I'm talking about, but it gets crazy. It's people trying to strangle each other, trying to submit one another. Things get out of hand. Things get wild, chaotic, but you remember them. You really do. You remember those roles, and you're grateful for them. And then when you leave, you drive home, you don't even need music. You just drive home in silence, kind of exhausted with that euphoric exhaustion that accompanies hard labor, hard roles. Man, what a feeling. What a feeling. The next thing is the aspect of ranking, being a blue belt. I mean, immediately I'm congratulated by everyone else that is participating in this game, in this sport that I'm doing. I'm congratulated. Way to go, man. You made it. Took me a while. I was that new white belt. People kind of spit on you. They just neglect you. They don't want to roll with you. They don't, you're new here, you'll probably be out. Because most people quit. Most people never make it to blue belt. And then most people from blue belt drop off. We'll see how I do. I might be gone soon. You never know. But it's like to see that you're respected as you progress. Not only in Jiu Jitsu, but also in life. That as you put your energy into something, and sheer willpower and determination, perseverance, that you're respected, you're rewarded. And it doesn't matter, I don't really care what people think, but it's nice, man. It's a very human element to be looked at by others, to be celebrated, to be congratulated by others, saying, way to go, dude. I see your progress and accomplishments. I see what you're becoming. I see that you're being better than when you first started. That's a great feeling, man, to have, people that are above you that have also made the journey to say, here, reach out that hand, congratulations, come on, keep going. Like, that's a great feeling. So I think rank is important in a man's life, because if you stay at the bottom, man, it's like, it's easy to get depressed. It's easy when you don't see growth, when you don't shake things up, you just stall out. You're like, well, is this it? No, you got to stay hungry. Okay, you got to stay hungry and keep going. The next thing, a lot of these guys that have been rolling for years, they're beat up. They have cauliflower ear. I don't have any. I mean, my ear's a little swollen, but I don't have it yet. But, dude, some of these guys, cauliflower ears, they just look like, beat up. My body feels a little bit of beat up sometimes. You get beat up, dude. You do it over and over, and you're getting in weird positions, and you're exhausting yourself. But life in itself, here's a lesson, life has a way of beating you up. Jiu Jitsu showed me that, damn, these people, like, life is not all about you. There's there's people that are out there. Everyone has their own intelligence. Everyone has their own life, and they're going through their own things, and people are battling the intensity of life. People are trying to make it. They got kids, they got bills, they got dreams and ambitions. You're not the only one, man. You're going against that other person. You're getting intimate on that level. And life has a way of beating you up. Those mats, being on the mats, rolling around, has a way of beating you up. It's not always, the toughest guys aren't always the prettiest. But I'm telling you, especially in the modern world, I think that we put too much emphasis on looks. We put too much emphasis on looking good and being pleasing to the eye, aesthetics. And I'm telling you, I think there needs to be more of this merit on honor, on heart, on will, and to be able to acknowledge someone, and not get into the Instagram world of all looks and just like this aesthetics, dude. Like, there's some badass guys out there and females and just amazing people. It's so easy to just think that the only way you're going to make it is if you dress the nicest or you look the prettiest or if your hair's perfect. It just causes this narcissism within us. And it's not good, man. It's not good, because life isn't about us. It's about connecting and uniting people and getting together and helping each other out and sharpening each other. All right? And we got to put more emphasis on heart, more on this character. And the last thing, I'll just tell you, as we get older, why do we lose a sense of competition, camaraderie through play, through rivalry? Why do we lose that? All right, I think we satiated by possibly work and climbing that hierarchy in the employment, or going out and drinking. But why do we need competition? As most of us as kids were competitive. Why do we give that up so willingly as we get older? And they say that it boosts your testosterone. It's great for depression. It gives you a sense of pride, of achievement. It gives you confidence. So I think that we have to keep competition alive. As a man in our lives, we got to keep it going, man. We got to keep it going. So compete, get around other cool dudes. These are lessons. These are things that I've embodied on my way to becoming the blue belt. It was a great experience being a white belt, man. It was a great experience. 14 months, I just kept training, kept learning. YouTube is there. This generation is going to be insane. We have YouTube. You can learn. Guys, if you haven't tried Jiu Jitsu, I know it can be kind of expensive. I think it's worth it, though. I know it's worth it because you will meet people there and you'll have more opportunities to level up your life. Like, I've met amazing people. I've made friends with some guys. We're going out. We're hanging out. We're talking. Great, like, good connections. Really good connections. It's so easy to be alone these days. I think the dojo, that gym, is the place where these other men are gathering together. They're leveling up. They're trying to be better. It's a great thing, man. It really is. So if you haven't done it, think about doing it. I think you're gonna love it. I love hearing all the results, the testimonials from guys in our group, in the Discord group that are doing martial arts, and you've seen all these new guys say, "Yeah, I went to my first jiu-jitsu class. I love it, man. I'm like glad you guys are doing it." But there's also guys in our group that do Muay Thai, and they're doing other martial arts, just wrestling or MMA, whatever it is, kickboxing, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu. Do some kind of martial arts, something where you're competing against someone else, not just this guy in your head. Once you compete against someone else and they see you, right? They see you, you'll calm down. You'll be centered. It's not just you against you. You don't have to always be against yourself, right? It's like you're in this world and you take up space and you have weight to you. You have something to you. You don't always got to be at war with yourself, all right? So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this message. Let me know if you got any questions. Maybe I could help you out. And have a blessed day. Talk to you soon.